Hey everyone, welcome back to 5-Day Crypto. My name is Chase. Today we are going to talk about Bitcoin. We're going to look at Bitcoin on the daily chart, the weekly chart, the 5-day chart. We're going to look at the Gaussian channel. We're going to look at some other indicators. We're going to look at some RSI. We're going to look at bullish and bearish divergence, how to tell which is which. Just a little bit of a learning tool for you to add to your toolkit so you can become a better trader for free. That's it. I'm here to help you. I've been in the market for almost 5 years now. I've lost it all. I've made it all. I've done both. I've been through the storms. I've been through the sunshine and rainbows. So that's why I'm here. I'm making these videos to combat all the moon boys and the hype boys, and you're going to be a 47% over the next 4 seconds. I don't focus on that. I focus on the charts only, and we leave the opinions and the moon hype stuff to those guys. So if you like the video today, give us a thumbs up. Follow us on Twitter, Telegram, Patreon. Everything's in the link below. And let's go ahead and get to it. Bitcoin on the daily chart. These are our moving averages if you're unfamiliar. 21, 50, 200 in the red, and 100 in the blue. Those are daily moving averages. Now those will change depending on what chart you're looking at. If you go over to the weekly, they'll be the 21 week, 50 week, 200 week, 100 week. So now that we've got that, look at what our, we've had our record move, right? We've never had 10 daily green candles ever, and we've just done that. So now we have a little bit of a pullback, which is healthy. That's fine. That's what we want to see. What we want to see is basically a higher low. So we could go all the way back down to 30K, 29K. As long as we make a higher low, we're starting to potentially reverse the trend. However, we would like to hold before that. We don't want to go all the way back down, right? I would prefer not to do that. So what do we got to look for? Well, so far we've had a nice bullish cross with our 21 crossing up through the 50. That's a good sign. We want to continue to do that. We want to continue to cross these moving averages back to the upside. We want to have our moving averages sorted out least to greatest if we want to have moves. Case in point, right back here. Look at our moving averages. Once we start crossing, this is the pandemic drop back here, March 2020. As we come up, look at the moving averages, start crossing. This is what just happened with us. 21 crossed the 50. Okay, we're not quite this bullish, but this was a super recovery from the pandemic, if you remember. I'm sure most of you do. But this is the ideal scenario. You want to keep crossing these as fast as possible without, kind of sort of the back and forth like this one did, right? You want to continue to cross these moving averages to the upside, sort them out least to greatest, 21, 50, 100, and 200. Because when you start crossing that to the downside, especially, that's a bad sign, right? The 21 crossed the 50. There's your warning. And we got it. And now we're crossing back up. Maybe this is our warning to the upside. We will see. These can have fake outs, of course. Daily's a good chart to start with for more of the longer term. I prefer even the 3-day or the weekly or the monthly. You can go real long. So what do those look like? I'm glad you asked. Let's look at the weekly. This is our pandemic drop. This is right to the 200 week. This is a huge average. If we ever drop to there, that's where you can be confident to buy. Not financial advice, but look at history of Bitcoin. The 2 biggest drops in history for Bitcoin, the 200 week is solid support. It's the structure support, the floor, concrete, basement, solid granite foundation for skyscrapers, okay? It's solid. You can go through it a little bit, but more likely than not, you're going to hold as super support. So I'm not saying we're going down that low, and obviously you can see the 200 week will continue to slowly move up here over time. Maybe over by 2022 January, it'll be right at the 20K, which is our previous all-time high back in here in 2017. So we'll see as we get there. But first things first, let me adjust the chart. There we go. We've broke through the 50 week with 1 candle so far. Now we're back above it. That's good. You don't want to have multiple weekly candles be closing below any moving average. If you have generally on a weekly scale, if you're having multiple candles, 2 or more, closing above or below a moving average, that's a good sign that it's going to continue that direction. So if we were to close this one red, where would our next place be that logically we would go? the 100-week, but instead we only closed 1 week below it. You see this here. And the very next week, we got back above it. Good sign. Okay, on a weekly scale, this is good. Next week, last week, we closed just right on it, maybe slightly above it even, right? We poked our head way up here at 42, then kind of settled right on it. This closed at 39,865. And at that time, it was 39,457 is where this average was. You can see right here. And so we closed slightly above it. That is a good sign. So that's one weekly close above the 21-week EMA. This week is pretty important. If we don't do it, where are we likely going? Well, we want to look for support back at the 50-week, which is right now just above 34K. So if we close back down negative, when you see this candle close red, anything under 39, let's see where it's at now. 39.4. If we close under 39.4, that could adjust because we still do have 4 days, 11 hours. But if we close under that, likely, probably, unless we can, a bullish case would be if we could close like right here and then open up the next week and still be right on the top, right just on this line and just hugging it. Because if you're pushing support, the more you continue to push that, the more likely you are going to break out to the upside. Now, if we somehow come back up at 42, 43, 44K over the next several days and close this weekly candle, a nice green candle, that would be a super excellent sign. So that's what I'm looking for that. Now let's go to Bitcoin and look at this stochastic RSI indicator. This is your momentum of the price action move. This is based on the RSI. So your stochastic RSI is kind of your momentum of that price move. So what you want to look for on the weekly chart. We're on the weekly now. This is bigger time scale. This is much more concrete proof that you have a much better chance of going sustainably to the upside rather than looking on even the daily or the 4-hour or the 15-minute or whatever you want to look at. The weekly. Now, you notice we already got in here, right? So a lot of people that know about the stochastic RSI, but are not real familiar with it, think like, oh, we broke into this box, it's time to go. Well, no, you want to have both of them, and you want to have both of them going up vertically as possible, like this. See how straight up and down these are? Because if you start leaning a little bit, look what can happen. Look back in October 2019. See how we hit it straight up and then lean a little bit to the right? Came right back down, okay? So nothing is 100% certain in crypto except for uncertainty. But this is just another probability in your favor that prices will continue higher. So even though we got a fake out here, it ended up going right back out. But now you see the difference in this, how once it hits the shaded box and it turns even more vertical, instead of leaning right like that, it leans left, right? That's what you want to look for. So you can see right now, we're maybe leaning a little bit right, but we want to see this red line, which should update this weekend. So 4 days, 4.5 days from now, we should see this close. As long as we're still going up and you see this red line in, that's a good sign. That means we're probably above that 21-week. We're probably above this. If this is green, you see the stochastic RSI red flipping up into the shaded area. That is a great sign for continued upward movement. On the 5-day, we still have a bunch. This is what we'd want to see on the weekly. 5 days, almost a week, right? Not quite. 2 days shy. Dollar late, day late, and dollar short. 2 days late. I don't know. 3-day, let's look. Okay, we've already have a big move. This is from those 10 green candles in a row, right? The daily, what do we got there? Well, not the best news here, but as you can see, there's a lot more fake outs on the daily. So the bigger time frame you can go, the more solid and the less fake outs that there are. So weekly is big in momentum for Bitcoin. Now, one more thing, bullish and bearish divergence. I know maybe some of you know, maybe some of you don't. If you don't know what to look for, here's a brief lesson on it. Bullish divergence is drawn from the bottoms. I made them color-coded just for your benefit. So to know if it's bullish or bearish, bullish is from the bottoms and it's green. So basically whatever the RSI is doing tends to be the way that the prices will end up going in the not so distant future, as you can see here. So this is on a daily. This is daily RSI. Look at this. So from May to July, we were going up on the RSI, whereas we were going down in price. Now this is Bitcoin. It's just I switched it from candles right here, as you normally probably see, and you can just hit that and then put it on a line chart. So there's the same, right? So I just made that a little bit easier. So now you know that. So this is the price. As the price is going down during the same time period, the RSI is going up. And what did we do? Well, the price went up. Again, remember, those are on the bottoms. Bullish divergence is drawn from the bottoms. Bearish divergence is the opposite, drawn from the tops. Price is going up. RSI is making lower highs. Higher highs, lower highs. Conversely, higher lows, lower lows. See how that works? Take a mental snapshot. That can help you out in the big picture. So you can use that on any time frame. You can. This is very helpful even for day traders. Use this a lot to watch those 15-minute charts, 5-minute charts. This is probably the best, in my opinion, one of the best things to do looking for trend reversals. Now, as you can see, this takes some time to play out. I mean, this was January to March, right? Even longer, because you could really extend this over to here. So you don't want to like enter and exit trades, but when you start seeing this happen, you can certainly at least start setting stop losses. You should always be trading with stop losses to prevent maximum carnage, like our May drop here. But you don't know when these are going to play out, but it's certainly the longer they go, the riskier you're getting, right? You're venturing out into the frozen lake. Eventually, you're going to hit that center point where it's not quite so thick of ice. And that's exactly how these play out. And look at, I'm just happy that we got this played out now. So we'll have to see what this does over time, but hopefully this helped you out. If you've never seen it done, a lot of people have videos on this, but I feel like this is pretty simple. Hopefully this is the simplest way you've seen. So let me know if you like this. If you got any questions, I'm happy to help. But that's it. Cars of the day. We're doing double trouble here as the windshield falls off. We have dual Lego cars. We got the Ferrari and the McLaren. Oh, I'm sorry. Not McLaren. I got the McLaren. I'll get the McLaren in a minute. This is the Koenigsegg Jesko and the Ferrari SF90 Stradale. These are both Legos. Pretty cool. They even did the whole wing on the Koenigsegg, and there's a little guy in there too. Look, you can take him out. He's got a helmet and everything. He's got the Jesko helmet. Pretty neat. Me and my 6-year-old son love doing that. So we built that, and then I said I get. Oh wait, I got him tiny McLaren. They sent this to me for free when I got my other McLaren, and then we're doing multiple cars of the day. Then I think I've showed this before, but this is a little bit bigger McLaren, but the doors open even, just like McLaren doors. I get excited for Legos and cars in general, so. If you couldn't tell, I'm sure you can all tell. All right, that's it. There's nobody here. All right, I'll catch you on the next one. That's it. I have nothing else. I can't, if I don't think of it ahead, I can't think of it off the top of my head. I suck. I get it. I'll see you on the next